3 rounds of discussion with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from a Zoom call in Columbia, South Carolina, Matthew, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. And his opponent from a Zoom call in Atlanta, Georgia, Daniel, aka the Executioner. Take it away, Matthew.
Thank you, Jesse, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. This is episode number 108 of Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
And the Executioner, Daniel Rojas.
Every episode. Happy belated Thanksgiving. This will be releasing on Black Friday. So, Thanksgiving technically would have been yesterday.
Right, anyway.
I am the Unbreakable Spirit, Matthew Smith. Let's run through the topics.
Topic number 1.
Should Randy Orton's return have been kept a surprise?
Number 2.
What are our personal gripes with All Elite Wrestling?
Number 3.
The Survivor Series prediction battle. It is happening tomorrow as of this recording releasing. But let's hop into topic 1, which I just realized is me. So, my personal opinion for this is a resounding yes. Randy Orton's return should have been kept a surprise.
Why do you say that, if I may?
They say anything can happen in the world of professional wrestling. But if we know something's going to happen, then it's like, what's the point of saying that?
Here are my thoughts is, yes, I honestly believe Randy Orton's WWE return should have been kept a surprise. But I also kind of, if you think about it, the shit kind of makes sense of why they did it, because otherwise the only thing people would be thinking is CM Punk, CM Punk.
I mean, people are going to chant that anyways. It's going to be in Chicago.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah.
But Cody made it, in my opinion, a little too obvious this past Monday.
But did anybody else notice, and I don't know if you noticed this yourself, but did you notice the reaction of Jey Uso throughout that entire thing? Jey Uso had a look of, oh fuck.
Yeah, because didn't the Bloodline take Randy Orton out of action? And Jay doesn't really have a lot of time to say, hey, that was my bad, Uso.
Randy, no. Yeah, and if there's one thing Randy Orton is known for doing,
it's holding a grudge.
But no, here's my genuine question is, don't get me wrong, Randy Orton is going to get a huge fuck you regardless.
It's Randy yeah. You heard the pop he got on Raw, and he wasn't even there.
That is also true. But my honest thought on Randy Orton WWE return is, I am glad personally that Randy Orton is back in the WWE. I'm glad he's nice and fit and is somehow going to be back. But my genuine question is, what is WWE's plan for the Viper now that he's going to be back?
Well, we know one thing that wasn't going to be happening is an RK Bro reunion. That was never planned by WWE. And it literally can't happen now since Matt Riddle got released.
That is also true, yeah. My question is, because, are they going to make Randy, of course, Randy's on Team Cody or Team Babyface, so great, but it's just, if Cody, I know Randy Orton is your friend, it's like, but he has history with literally every single member except for Sammy. No, including Sammy. He's history with literally everybody. All bad.
Yeah.
Let's go down the list. Seth Rollins, he was his ally in the Authority, and then with him. Jey Uso took him out of the fucking bloodline. Cody was a first rival with him during his Legend Killer days, and then an ally with him.
Yeah, Cody mentioned when he was announcing it was Jordan. The first thing he mentioned was, "I have a legacy with this person."
Also, Sami Zayn, who he kind of when Sami Zayn was a heel, and there was that whole thing in the in 2016 area where him and where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, where he was teaming up with Daniel Bryan for a bit.
Yeah.
So he has I don't really know about most. I know he's got history with McIntyre. And I don't know about Dan. Yeah. But the thing that I am looking forward to out of all the things is out of everything that's gonna happen with Randy Orton's return, and I honestly think Randy Orton should have. The point I'm making is, should Randy Orton been kept to return? Yes, because we would have been a lot more. Oh sh. Okay, Randy's that cool.
Yeah. But like, is it a problem that WWE did it the way they did? No, it's not. Are Chicagoans pissed about it? Probably. But my main problem with it is Cody was very on the nose about it.
Yeah. But
Like with the whole, I have a legacy with this. You think we're the prey? We have the apex predator on our side.
yeah. But also is that if anything, you guys should be more worried because my you guys should be more worried.
I do the final thoughts first.
Go ahead.
So my final thoughts are, I'm excited to see Randy's return. Gotta turn the volume down. Still trying to find a happy medium. I just wish that WWE had kept it a mystery until Survivor Series. Like, it's time for the final entry of the match. Some people think it's Randy, some people think it's Punk because Chicago. Then Voices hits out of nowhere. The crowd loses their mind and Randy returns like the RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah. What I was going to say before that is, don't get me wrong. I am glad that Randy Orton is coming back to the WWE. And I honestly agree with Randy Orton coming back. But I am also wondering is if you're on the babyface team, can you honestly trust Randy Orton? Because you know the saying, you never trust a snake.
Yeah.
How do you know that? How do you know it might be during the match? You could just be like, man, you know what? I like you, Cody, but you, like, you could just RKO Jey Uso and cost you in the match.
Or he could be like, you know, Seth, you kind of have something I want. RKO.
Exactly. He's like,
In fact,
that's a nice.
last week when we talked about something very similar, or
Yeah.
maybe it was a couple weeks ago, something like that. We thought that Randy might turn on. It was last week. We thought Randy might cost Seth the world title after the War Games match.
I mean, here's my thoughts. Here's my final thoughts is, I'm glad that Randy Orton's back, but I think Randy Orton should turn heel because it would be this is just the perfect opportunity if you're Damian Priest to cash in Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
Just hear me out real quick is that War Games match is over. Randy Orton betrays RKO's Seth Rollins after you guys
we
have beat
literally said this last week, my dude.
Alright, never mind. Moving on to topic 2.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. We are back with topic number 2. Our gripes with all elite.
Yep, because I feel like I have one that we both can agree on.
Go.
An overinflated roster.
Agreed. Now, my my whole gripe with all elite wrestling isn't really, all the blood, the violence. That shit doesn't really bother me as much, but it's just like, I feel like sometimes it's good that, that they have open mic, but it's also a little bit kind of worrisome if that entire incident between CM Punk and Hangman Adam Page can unfold and nobody know about it, you could really create some real life beef with another person.
Yeah, that is true.
Another problem that I have with all elite wrestling isn't that, isn't their network, is they I feel like AEW sometimes it's not like they don't really have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for of matches that you would think they use. Like think about it. They have sure Texas death matches and all, but they don't have like a regular last man standing match. I don't think I've ever seen a last man standing match in that company.
Yeah.
Okay, another problem I have with AEW is I honestly don't feel like at first I thought the wins and losses mattered, but to tell you the truth, dude, I'm not even sure if they even fucking matter anymore.
I forgot to start the timer before I closed out the app, so this is going to be a long episode, people, as if it wasn't already.
Yeah. But that's my problem, is I thought the wins and when AEW first started, I honestly thought the wins and losses, it made every single match feel important. But 4 years into this shit, I don't know if the wins and losses honestly even fucking matter.
Nowadays, I would say probably no, but in the beginning, it was interesting unless you saw Jade Cargill's win-loss record, and you saw a lot of W's and 0 losses
Like, literally the only, like, she only had one loss in her entire AEW career. Only, two.
Yeah, 2. She lost the title and she lost her rematch. And her rematch was her last match in AEW.
Yeah. No, my honest thoughts is, this might be more of a hot take, but all the AEW might just be a bunch of goddamn assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, like, oh, like, this company's better than that company's. Oh, this guy's better than this, or that guy should do this. And, I mean, also, don't get me wrong, AEW has a lot of extremely talented people, but it's just, I don't really like, when I watch AEW, there's like, their storylines, and like, the only good shit that they have right now is the Adam Cole, MJF, and Who's the Devil shit. That's it.
Okay, I will admit MJF being a babyface, believe it or not, is actually something I have a little bit of a problem with. Because first off, I don't know what happened. And second off, it's like he's such a good hero that you just want to punch your TV every time you see him. I don't recommend doing that because I am
Yeah,
not doing that. That him actually being a good guy just feels wrong in a way.
yeah. I also think him being a babyface had everything to do with him. Remember, because if you remember correctly, him and like, it all had everything to do with him and Adam Cole being paired together in that random tag team tournament together.
I
Wow.
don't remember that because I focus more on food than I do wrestling when I have wrestling on my TV,
But it's
which
just,
is gonna be 6 times this week. I might skip Impact.
yeah. My honest thoughts is, I agree with you on the MJF situation. Is when you are when you are so fucking good at doing your job of getting people to hate you, which is what your job is supposed to be as a villain, and randomly become a babyface, it's weird. Like, anytime they get away, MJF has a babyface, it's weird.
Yes.
Now, another problem I have with AEW, they're too much, like we covered last week, there are too many ex-WWE guys.
Yes, if you want to see us go a little bit more in depth than that, listen to last week's episode.
Yeah, and another thought I have about all elite wrestling is, I mean, not that they have too many shows, but it's just, they have way too many goddamn fucking championships.
Yes, because, mind you, AEW also owns Ring of Honor.
Yeah, because, like, and this is just like a weird take that I have is, I've noticed that sometimes, even though Ring of Honor is its own separate promotion, that even though Ring of Honor is owned, that even though it's owned by AEW, it will still be a part. It doesn't really feel like its own separate company, to be honest.
Yeah, in fact, they even taped Ring of Honor half of it before Collision and half of it after Collision.
Yeah.
So a while ago, when we talked about how it would affect the filming, they just split Ring of Honor into 2 parts.
Yeah. And my thought is, another problem I have with all elite wrestling isn't that they got too many talent, is they don't really have, like, I'm glad they got one world championship, but you would think with them having two brands that they would give, like, I honestly think that they should give Collision their own world title. It's Friday Night SmackDown of AEW, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah,
You got anything you want
and
to that?
well, we got less than 10 seconds, so I guess
If you,
we can just jump into the final thoughts right about now.
I was gonna say, if you want to finish your thoughts about what I just said, you can if you want to before we do the final thought
Uh,
about how Collision.
nah, we're definitely gonna return to this topic later.
Okay, great. Okay, top. Final thoughts is I think that AEW. My final thoughts on All Elite Wrestling. The problem with All Elite Wrestling is, which will be a part two to this. I think that they got too many wrestlers, that they rely too much on ex WWE guys, and that they don't. And sometimes with their open mics, is that they can create real life beef, and they don't. Even if they got like real life beef going on backstage, AEW doesn't do the smart shit and capitalize on that. Like with the entire CM Punk situation.
Yeah, my
What do you
my final thoughts are AEW is a good alternative to WWE, like I've said in the past. But
know?
with the Khan family owning two wrestling promotions, they have an overinflated roster, and honestly, they might have too many shows, but we can't do shit about that. We'll be back with the prediction battle. And we are back with the third and final topic for this episode, the prediction battles for Survivor Series War Games 2023. And as for the punishment, I was gonna save it for after this, but you know what? Screw it. The loser has to watch Superman 4 The Quest for Peace.
Oh boy.
Anyways, the first match that we are going to predict is the men's War Games match. What I'm affectionately calling Team Babyface, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Randy Orton, and Seth Rollins versus the Judgment Day, Andrew McIntyre.
Who do you got?
I'm going Team Babyface because they have Randy Orton and like normally people who are just returning have uh like a bunch of like adrenaline and momentum when they return for some weird reason.
That is true. I'll take the Judgment Day. Even though the Judgment, and keep in mind, I do have the literal advantage because the Judgment Day does have the literal advantage in this match.
Yeah.
What's next?
Uh the next match, believe it or not, is the women's war game match.
Okay, who is participating in this women's?
Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, um, Shotzi Blackheart, and Becky Lynch are taking on Damage Control.
Damage Control is like, bro. Which, damn. I don't really know how to. Who do you got in this thing? Because I don't know who I got.
See, like that's the thing. Damage you I'm guessing you were just say damage control is even more powerful now, and you would be right in saying that, considering Asuka is a part of their team now.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I'm going damage control.
I'll go with. I don't really know. Team Charlotte.
I don't know. They may not have a team name.
Alright. What's next?
I It's hard having to both host and document at the same time.
Mm,
Alright, so I'll just put C in that
yeah.
and move on to the next one. Match number 3, according to CBS Sports, is the Intercontinental Championship match. Gunta versus The Miz.
This should honestly be a this with this should honestly be a very interesting match, and it is still weird that the Miz is a babyface. Just thought I'd get
Yeah,
that out of the way.
it's just like MJF in a way.
Yeah, my
Like, if
thought.
MJF does end up going to WWE in 2024, make him a tag team with The Miz.
Oh God. Oh God. But dude, I just thought of this. I'd have a faction with him, Logan Paul, Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, God. Anyways, who you got, man? I just realized I'm supposed to be hosting this shit, and you're the one asking me. Crap, I forgot to censor myself when I said,
Whatever. My thoughts is I got the ring general and also RIP to the Miz's chest.
Yeah, like, no cap on that, man.
Yeah, I got the ring general. Gunza.
Alright, I'll move on to the next match.
Alright.
The next is for the Women's World Championship. The Eradicator, Rhea Ripley, taking on Zoe Starks.
For the world this could go honestly either way, but I think Mommy, aka Rhea Ripley, is going to be on top
Why am I
again.
not surprised?
Also one that I think this will be a very good match.
Yep. Alright, so we have one more match to predict, and honestly, I am surprised the way CBS Sports did this, because it's probably the match I'm looking forward to the least.
Which is
It is Carlito versus Santos Escobar.
yes, the newly turned heel, Santos Escobar. Now, and don't get me wrong, I think this match is going to be a good one. I mean,
You've mentioned to me recently that there are rumors of Santos getting a new faction with Los Lotharios,
yes,
which would bring something from My Rise to Life, which is really weird.
Yeah. I think that this is going to be a very good match, and I'm going to go with the newly turned Santos Escobar because I just thought of this. What if Los Lotharios shows up in this match and cost Carlito the match?
Well, then Carlito will have some people to spit in the face of. I don't recommend doing that while there's a pandemic going on, but it's kind of his thing.
Yeah. All right.
But
That's all we
anyway,
have.
that is all the matches that I can see on this. I would not be surprised if there's more added on SmackDown, in which we'll probably do like an X update or something. But anyways, thank you for listening. The results will be next week. And roll that outro. Thank you for listening to At Odds, hosted by the Unbreakable Spirit
And the Executioner.
edited by the Unbreakable Spirit. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MTS_life_0126.
You can follow me on Instagram at DanTravis121, and you can also follow me on the Twitter at DanTheExecutioner21.
And you can follow the podcast at Odds Podcast. We'll be back next week with more debates and discussions. But until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.
Thank you, losers.